Hi everyone, welcome to Sophie Photography podcast again. And today I'm still honored to have one of my best friends, an amazing personality. She's a global customer experience expert, and today we are here with her again to discuss patient's experience. But before I go to the next topic or the next conversation. I want to allow Rosebella Abok to introduce herself. Bella, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
You've already called me by my names, Ginaza ID, Rosebella Abok. I love to be called Bella, and I am a global customer experience professional. I'm currently working in the energy sector. I love people. I love books, and I love dancing.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Talking of dancing, I'm passionate about how music tells stories, or even how music help people come from situations and over childhood memories. I think you can listen to a particular song and you say, "That's my song." So, what's the song are you listening to? What's the song you're listening to now?
Um, from my childhood, not really, because I'm a last of five children. So at some point, I was only listening to the music my older siblings were listening to.
Yeah.
And they even controlled what the entire household was listening to. So I discovered my love for soft rock music. But now, currently, my playlists are being driven by a DJ on Spotify who is utilizing information about my previous playlists and the music I've been searching for. So right now it's a mixed plate.
Okay, so what is one of this music, one song that you probably like, and it always rekindle probably happiness in you? It takes you memory lane, just something that excites your soul when you listen to.
Okay, wow. Currently it's a mix of Swahili gospel
Yeah.
by Christina Shusho.
Don't say Shishanyavu.
So Shushanyavu is being brought into my playlist by the DJ. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
AI-driven DJ.
yeah.
But I've been listening to Swahili gospel generally, and it's been a lifter for me because of the current phase I'm in. Yes.
Okay. Personally can take you to very broad music I'm listening to. So I'm listening currently to a guy called Nyabuto. Nyabuto is Kenyan, and I discovered his music before I traveled abroad. And I was seeing about so many things I could relate to. And like you already told you, I like weird things.
So Nyabuto is singing about.
Nyabuto was saying about there's a guy called Alfayo. So he say Alfayo bana, bibi wangapi bana, watakutosha ndio upoze roho yako. You know how many women, and that thing slaps different because now society has been set up. So Nyabuto is someone I'll ask you to listen to. And also I've also learned that I like there's this song, "Sweet dreams are made of things. Who am I to?" I don't know the artist, but we're gonna check it and we're gonna post it somewhere there.
Okay.
And the last one is I like John Mayer. I'm gonna introduce you to John Mayer because John Mayer is very dope.
Okay.
You've listened to any of his music?
Maybe I have. I'm not good with memorizing artists. I'm good with memorizing the
Songs,
lyrics.
yeah.
Yes.
Like which lyric now in your mind?
Don't take me to Brian McKnight because that one is helping me at night.
Yeah.
But if I was to say Swahili gospel, I think we have artists from Kenya, from Rwanda,
Yeah.
from Tanzania,
Yeah.
and most of them have come through a lot.
Okay.
And the music that they write is deep because in the music you can feel what they have lived through.
Yeah, yeah.
And right now that's what I'm relating to.
Okay.
I'm relating to that. The one song that if I just close my eyes and I want to rest and is a very powerful song is Wanijali, Wanijali, sitokubali kuzama
I'm
kwenye
getting emotional.
maji.
I don't wanna cry. I love that song.
Yes, it's powerful.
It's so spiritual also, I mean, let's not get into all this. It's so deep. It takes me back to the days I used to be so active in church. And that's a conversation we're going to have
Another day.
another day. But let's talk about it today. Patient's experience. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me a story about a patient experience. How can a layman understand what's a patient experience from a CX perspective, so that then we're able to dissect it and then we're able to understand it fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, patient experience has to do with what a customer, in this case, is somebody who's unwell, is going through in their journey when they go to the hospital, but also if they need care outside of the hospital, if it's home care, what they go through as a customer, so to say. It's interesting because when you start to throw terms like customer retention, it sits differently because
Yeah.
it's like you're saying patient retention. It's like you don't want people to get well. So now they can still be our patient.
Yeah.
So it puts a spanner in the works so that you just are not thinking about your patient as any other customer. But there's the other aspects around referrals. Now, because at some point you will get unwell, or someone that you love will get unwell, you want to be able to refer them to a place where you know they will be taken care of very well.
Yeah.
Now, the entire ecosystem of patient experience has to even take in factors such as insurance,
Yeah.
which insurance program you are on or you're using. And then apart from that, there's the services that are at that facility. If you're going to a certain type of hospital, you may or may not get a well-stocked pharmacy.
Yeah.
So you might be sent to another location to go and get your medication.
Yeah.
Or you may need further treatment or examination. You might be sent to another location to get a test. You might be sent to another location for continued consultancy with a specialist.
Yeah.
That entire ecosystem is patient experience.
Yeah.
There's so much a hospital as an institution can promise patients, but I think now the challenge is on customer experience professionals that sit in hospitals
Yeah.
to reinvent how patients are treated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, for me, if I was able to tell a story, I think the one that comes very closely and relates very closely to me is when I'm taking a loved one to the hospital.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I come out of there with so many emotions. One, because either the institution was locked in terms, they understand what the patient needs, but they are not taking into account my role
Yeah.
in going with that patient.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll give you an example, especially of the elderly or the young generation. If I'm accompanying my son or my daughter to hospital, they might not understand certain elements around the treatment they are getting. They are going with the flow.
Yeah.
But myself as the mother, I have certain types of expectations. And let me tell you, it doesn't even make it any easier that I'm a customer experience professional.
Yeah.
I will ask, why do they not have a queue management system?
Yeah.
Why am I sitting here waiting indefinitely? No one is coming to tell me why there's a delay. And then because I know I need to go and put in the details of my son or my daughter's insurance, at some point I still need to go back to the queue, and then my son or my daughter will be called to the triage. Some of the institutions I've gone to have a play area.
Yeah. For the kids.
That is a certain distance away from where I have to wait.
Yeah.
So I am not going to deny my children the opportunity to go and play if they want to go and play. But when the number gets called out, I need to rush to go get them and then come back just to make sure that we are within. So there are certain elements, if you ask me,
Yeah.
that are part of the patient's experience, and not just the person receiving the treatment, but the person accompanying them for the treatment, that need to be looked into.
Yeah.
They look subtle, but if you ask me, after that visit, would I bring my child again?
Again. Yeah.
Or would I tell any of my friends to take their child to that institution? That's where the rubber meets the road.
Now, I want to agree with you on that, because in most engagements, especially, let's dissect the value of human life. Of course, you're healthy. In some moments in life, definitely you're gonna get sick, and we're not saying getting sick is part of life. Actually, you understand? And I personally gone to some hospital. They have just seemed transactional.
Yeah.
I mean, endo ulipe pale. You know the way they tell you endo ulipe pale, lipa kwanza. And you're like, I know, but what before I pay, what am I paying for?
Yeah.
What is my person diagnosed of? What are the steps I need to do? So you're just lipa pale. Kama hujalipa, you're not subbed. And you see that thing, you've already analyzed and said, you've already said that you already go there with so much emotional expectation.
Yeah.
You go so much with it's already a turmoil, and it's already frustrating because no one wants to get sick. So by the time you are settling into a particular hospital and you're saying, oh, personally I like an X and X hospital, in most cases that I know, that I've referred even my loved ones to, is because of how I was handled
Yeah.
as a human being.
Yeah. Yeah.
And lastly, before I let you jump in, there's a particular hospital, it's a government hospital. I'm gonna say it. Anytime my loved one gets sick, I know they don't have dawa. You understand?
Okay.
I know they don't have, but I know they have professionals there.
Uh-huh.
You understand? So the aspect, the angle of it, of not having dawa, is not an issue to me. I've already slapped that out of my mind. I've also known that when I go there, the queue goes like this. I'm received a register. After registering, I go and see the doc. Then after there, I know that I'm going to a lab or I'm going to buy medicine. And I've settled down. That's been so peaceful for me. And the last 5 years I've been going there, but I've not sat down and said no, thank you. I want to go there. You understand?
Yeah, I get it. And here's the thing. So that I like how you started that statement with no one just wants to get sick.
Yeah.
We're not going to hospital because we love to go to hospital. It's that place I just must go to. It is that I have to because I am unwell or somebody in my care is unwell. And I think in the medical profession, their training needs to take into account, or maybe it actually does take into account, certain values such as empathy and certain softer skills around reading the body language of the person that is in front of you and being able to comfort them to some extent, whatever it is that is worrying them. Because the worry could be timing, the worry could be location. So for me, I like to call before I start moving,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And just from a phone call, if you're keen, you will hear what that person's concerns are.
Yeah.
You will, and you'll speak to those concerns. I recently got a phone call from a hospital that needed me to take action. So
Yeah.
you said transactional. So the specialist doctor that was seeing one of my loved ones had already given notes about next steps. So when I got this phone call, the person on the other side of the line said to me, these are the next steps, and the doctor has recommended this, that, the other. And I said, thank you so much. This is very good information
Yeah,
for me,
informative, yeah.
for me to have. However, it is catching me unawares, and I have a lot more questions that I want to ask.
Yeah.
And they said to me, well, for us to move from here, you need to pay a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
And I said, wow. Like in my mind and in my heart, I was like, I had additional questions, and I've told you this.
Yeah.
But the answer to that
Was
is
to
make payment.
yeah.
Not that the payment would unlock more information that I need from the doctor, but to her, that was the natural next step for the process, the operational process of the hospital
Yeah.
to happen. And why I'm narrating this is because it's in my memory,
Yeah.
and it made me feel a type of way. Let me tell you, the people that are in patient experience or in customer experience need to remember that your customer or the person that is with your customer creates memories.
Yeah.
Or rather, you have the responsibility of creating memories for them.
Yeah.
Now, you're not in control of what they choose to remember about the experience, but believe me, some things will stick a little bit more than others. And you don't want them to mostly remember the negative attributes. You want them to remember the, the
No,
positive ones.
I like Maya Angelou quote
Mm-hmm.
that says, people will not remember, people will always remember how you made them
How
feel.
you made them feel.
You understand?
Not what you said.
Yeah.
They will not always remember what you did,
Yeah.
but they will always remember how you made them feel.
And dissecting into that, Bella, I'm sitting down and I'm thinking about the human experience. I think the human experience is such a global thing. And if you drift it down back to the patient experience, you realize that in the end you don't even care how much they're gonna charge you.
Yeah.
In the end, you don't care how what's their payment processes and that is not the issue. Money can always be found. Money can be always
And
be
we can
found.
always get that out
Yeah.
of the way.
The idea here is most hospitals forget the human experience. They
Yeah.
forget it, and they treat you
As a transaction,
as a business.
a customer, you've come in, make the payment, get what you need, and leave.
Yeah. So for me, I'm gonna ask you, what do you think are some of the sustainable ways
Yeah.
that hospitals can adopt
Yes.
to ensure that customer experience remains at the peak of the businesses? You know.
As you were talking, it hit me that when someone opens a business, any business, they want to make a profit.
Yeah.
They want to pull in some resources. And some businesses to start are resource intensive. There's a lot you have to put in to just make that business operational.
Yeah.
And so the goal of the founders and the core team
Yeah.
is how soon can we get money that offsets
Yeah.
our initial investment? Yeah?
Yeah.
And then not just that, how soon can we reach a place where we can say we are profitable? So we are making a lot more than what was put in to start this business. And that business mindset is super important. But of course, not at the expense of your customer's experience. So I'll take us back just a little bit.
Yeah.
In the recent years, we were in, not even recent years, in a recent century, let me put it that way, we were in the age of manufacturing. It was all about what a business could produce that improves at an industrial level the quality of people's lives.
Yeah.
After manufacturing came the age of distribution. So it was not just enough to be able to produce certain items in one location. You needed to produce them at multiple locations and or move them from where they've been manufactured to other areas.
Yeah, supply
of,
chain.
of the world even,
Yeah,
not
supply
just
chain.
of the country.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. And that age was then. Came the age of information. And I think that's when internet hit. And then that's when we realized you could communicate across boundaries and in real time.
Yeah.
We're in the age of the customer.
Wow.
Right now, it's about that person who's making a decision to part with money,
Yeah.
their money, to get your product or your service.
Yeah.
They have options. So gone are the days my detergent was only that one detergent.
Which one?
I now have options.
You know that
When I go
detergent-
to the shelf,
You
at
know
some
that-
point,
no, let me cut
that,
you
that
off.
detergent,
That detergent.
that one,
Oh, back to the detergent.
back to the detergent.
Yeah.
You wanted to say something about that
No,
detergent?
that one only detergent that was, or that will remove every stain. You know it. Growing up with it, oh goodness.
That
Okay.
detergent even became the name of other detergents.
Yeah.
You couldn't say, give me detergent or powder soap. You would say, give me that name of that detergent. Yes. And it has now become the same even for bar soap.
Yeah.
You know, people refer to bar soap generally as a certain one brand of bar soap. Yeah. It's super interesting. Chewing gum. People still refer to all sorts of chewing gum, no matter the brand, with a certain one or two
dominant in the market.
that was dominant in the market. And so back to now the age of the customer. You want to be able to create sticky experiences where, like I was saying, people have majority good memories. They feel a certain type of way about your brand. And so you're top of mind. You are top of mind. They would refer you in a heartbeat. Furthermore, they will give you feedback even when something does go wrong, or they will forgive you. They
Yeah.
will overlook the things that go wrong. So believe me, I'm not preaching perfection in terms of the patient experience. I'm not saying that the ramp that has been built at the entrance of the hospital is too steep, and so now the patient will not come back. You know, so there are certain elements that customers can overlook or they can forgive, right? And they can say, I acknowledge that, and let me tell them about it. But majority of what they should experience is a great and beautiful and something that they would love to tell a story about. Let me tell you something that I will be delighted to learn is being done by hospitals. I think it would be great. I would love to know that the staff are being trained to walk in the patient's shoes.
Yeah.
So, for example, if we're taking people in the nursing unit and we are saying, out of the gate, you're a patient
Yeah.
at this hospital. So they take them through everything. So you're no longer a staff member, because also we know when hospital personnel get unwell, there's certain type of probably preferential treatment that they go through. I don't think they have to queue. I don't think they have to go through triage and they have to do all of those things. No. But say you take your head nurse and ask them to be a patient that day,
Yeah.
to dress in not their nurse's uniform, and even embody a patient with a certain ailment.
Yeah.
And ask them to go through the entire process, produce their ID when they enter, get searched at the
their
entrance.
seat, yeah.
Yes. Make them walk the distance up to where they need to register. Make them not be able to even say my name is before they are told insurance or cash. Make them have to go through all of that. Sit and hear what the other patients are saying about the brand. And they are taking note. Go to triage and do the thing. Come back and queue. Go to the different sections. Literally take a patient's journey, specific even to the ailment or what they are going through. You bring it home that way, and maybe this is a suggestion for me. Hospitals, please consider doing that. And from there, have that head nurse conduct the training.
Yeah.
Why? Because they know from an operational point of view what the team does even behind the scenes, and the patient does not know, and they can now gel with what they have seen or experienced as though they were a patient.
I want a country short because in most cases, what I know is people will say, oh, daktari si mzuri. You know, why? People say, oh, daktari, asikupenda huo nurse. You know? And now you're making it look like it's not even the profession, the skills. It's about how they felt that person answered them, you know?
Yeah.
So even on the writings on the wall, you understand? Writing is written there. I went to a particular hospital here, and they say, come in as a patient, leave as a friend.
Wow.
Yeah. That has stayed with me.
Imagine.
I was sick. And I'm like, yeah, I think I felt like a friend. That was a friend. I didn't even, in fact, that hospital charged me way higher
Than your usual.
than my usual. You understand? But I felt, if you ask me to go and look for any other doc, I'll go where that doc is.
Yeah.
Because I left as a friend.
Imagine.
You know, if she's busy, she'll not fail to pick your calls the way other fails it. No, she just tell you, hi, kindly text. I'm engaged, or I'll get
Yes.
back to you
Yes.
at this particular time.
There's softer elements of human interaction.
Yeah.
What do you think about identification? Me, I'm big on identification. I should be able to tell who you are at this hospital.
Yeah.
So I know that there can be certain types of uniform and it's even color coded. But you know, as a patient, we don't know the difference between a nurse and a nurse aide, and sometimes even a student,
Yeah.
because some hospitals are teaching hospitals. We don't know the difference with the lab coats. Maybe there is a difference between a certain type of lab coat and the other. So the hospital staff can identify themselves. Isn't it interesting that patients are not able to tell
Who is who?
who in the hospital?
Except
It's
from the
super
soldier
Imagine.
who is always busy to tell a loved one visiting, masaa ya kutembea, the time for
visiting hours are over.
are over. And they come and pick you and you're like, do you even know what it takes to be here?
Yeah.
If they could just tell you, hey, excuse me, how are you? How are you feeling about the situation?
Yes.
Your visiting hour is going to be over in the next 10 minutes. Or it's going to be over in the next 10 minutes, but you extend it another 5 minutes. So that maybe you can be able to wrap up what you wanted to talk about. You understand? That itself makes you feel, oh, soja alikuwa mzuri. You know?
And the thing is, sometimes we've started to rationalize it to say, just leave that nurse, just leave the doctor, they're doing their job. You know, so we are having to excuse poor treatment because somebody is doing their job. If anything, I should be super grateful for that. I mean, so let me tell you why I'm big also on identification. Is this might be my very first visit to this hospital. So if it's a children's hospital, the staff are mostly in very nicely, brightly colored clothes that
Yeah.
even have cartoons and some animations. That's great. I should still be able to see your name or your credential. I think bare minimum, please help me.
Let me know you.
And when I'm walking in to be served by you, it would also be great if you identified yourself. I am just about to give you my personal information.
Yeah.
Everything about my
my life.
identity that is on a file document that you're requesting. You're asking me for my health insurance details. You're asking me for my full names, for the name of my children or my loved ones. You're asking for NHIF details. You're asking for my blood group. You are asking for my allergies. You're even asking for
The type of coffee I like.
for the professional that referred me.
Yeah.
You're literally asking for a lot.
Yeah.
And I know it's just a process and it's a procedure. Ni kufungua file. But it I don't think it even takes 2 seconds for you to say, please fill this in. My name is so and so.
Yeah.
Just that. Give
yeah.
me your name and maybe how you will assist me. My name is so and so, and I am in charge of ensuring your file is fully opened. Just that. Or, welcome. So I've just entered the room. My name is Dr. So and so. I see you are. So these days we've computerized, we've automated some of these things. They have our details on a screen. So just that. It's a softer touch, but it makes me as a patient or the loved one of a patient feel seen and feel heard. And Steve, I've told you this so many times, right?
Yeah.
We all need to feel seen
Yeah.
and heard.
Yeah.
If you do that, it almost helps to alleviate my emotional state, even if I may not be very well physically, but it helps me emotionally as a patient.
I'll tell you a simple story. Okay, first. That you've said, they're telling you, there's something you've said, wacha watu wafanye kazi yao. How have you said it? So
Anafanya tu kazi yake, so we excuse certain ways we are treated.
So that's also how the corporate word for it is, let professionals do their job.
You keep quiet, stay there, let people do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. So, so I'm gonna share with you when I landed in Amsterdam. Of course, there's immigration checkup before you enter the country. And this lady, I don't remember even the name of that police officer. But she picked my passport, checked it, and stamped it. Then she asked me for some details. Then I only had them on digital. Then I shared with my phone, and my phone has a cracked screen. So she cracks a joke and say, "Hey, Steve, there's so many good phones in the Netherlands. You can buy one." And I was like, "Wow, that is so amazing." I'm like, "Sure, I'm gonna buy one."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I have stayed with that memory not because of the process. You understand? So it's the same thing I also feel about patients. You know, you could have a doctor and tells you, "Hey, in case you don't feel well, here's my number. You know, reach me out. Or if you don't find me, call my nurse."
Yes.
You just kind of personalize the entire experience.
Yes.
And you want to be in a space where doc nasikia hivi, what should I do? Of course, you know there's consultancy fee in that, but does it matter that you want to keep engaging with the doc because the situation you don't even know anything about it? The person knows, the doc has all the info. So what do you talk about? What do you say about personalizing patient experience?
Yeah. I know the challenge that comes with certain professions and giving out their contact details.
I know.
Yeah, so I just want to take a deep breath for them. Because they also need to sort of draw a certain boundary between
Work and,
work and when they are not working, but also being able to be professional versus your friend.
Yeah.
And there's reservations around that.
Yeah.
And we take a minute for them, because those careers that are service careers, you are giving of yourself, you keep giving and you keep giving, can have a certain way of taking away from you so much. So I want to just take a bit there,
Okay.
sort of to just understand that. But we've also seen doctors, for example, who've opened their own clinics, their places of consultancy.
Yeah.
And so they share the contacts that can be handled at a level lower and sieved before it gets to them. Completely understandable. A very professional
Process.
way of doing it. On the other hand, remember, they also have family and loved ones
Yeah.
who feel a type of way.
Yeah.
You're their brother before you're a doctor.
Yeah.
You're their son before you're a doctor. And so they feel, I can consult.
Yeah.
And usually at no fee.
Of course. Of course.
And we're not even talking about the medical world only.
no.
Steve, you're a professional
Yeah.
photographer, videographer. You are great in production.
Yeah.
There's people that want your service at no cost because of the nature of the relationship
We
you
have
have
with
with them.
Oh,
Yes?
goodness, yeah.
Sometimes not even just no cost, because for me, I'm strict these days. If I'm going to offer some type of service to you, it's for me that I am doing that at the expense of something else I would have been doing.
Yeah.
So even if you're family or friend, I'm going to make it clear what's in it for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not necessarily money, you're not paying me for that, but there must be some type of opportunity that is coming out of it, so that you're not the only one who is benefiting
Yeah.
from that. And it's a conversation worth having. It is a conversation worth having. So I'm also holding space and grace for our people in the medical field that are doing a lot more for their family and their friends at
No fee, yeah.
at no cost. Yeah.
I mean, listen, that's another interesting topic I'll want to have, because I've actually had my friend contact me, and I just tell them, hey, whatever you're offering me is just to fuel my car. I'm gonna fuel the car, or I take an Uber. That's the cost for transport. So I'm not gonna charge you my professional fee, because then I'm not going to spend 5 hours documenting your entire day. Then I go home with nothing. So I need to accept that I'm letting go of my professional charge, and I'm coming back to you and I'm telling you, hey, maybe you need to take care of one or two expenses, because either way, if I was not there, you'd have paid someone else. But as we close on this, because this is a very draw, I don't even feel we've got into details with it, but we're gonna have a part 2 of this definitely. But I want us to discuss what do you see as some of the future trends in patients' experience, probably. Yeah, you know, I mean, how do you think going forward, patients in institution, and you know, we have actually labeled it, we have actually gone down to the doctors. We've not talked about the supervisors, the managers, the security guard that receive you. We've not discussed all that. That's why we must have a part 2 of this. But I'm gonna ask you, even as we close on this topic, part 1 of it, of course. What do you think is the future trends in patient experience?
In patient experience.
Yeah.
Thank you for that question. Every time I am asked a question such as that, my head shifts to technology.
I know.
Let me tell you, I always think, what's this other thing that's coming up in terms of technology? And then next after that, I think data.
Yeah.
Because patients' information is data, and most of it is confidential, should be kept private and secure. So there is regulation that needs to probably be tighter around patients' data. But now let me take it the artificial intelligence way. There is certain information from patients, many patients, that can be utilized towards either predicting or to check trends or to better understand patient care. So if a hospital has a mechanism for collecting feedback, and I just don't want to say patient feedback. Remember, I told you something about most patients, especially children or the elderly or those with certain diseases, are usually accompanied.
Yeah.
So if they have a mechanism for capturing feedback from those that accompany their loved ones, as well as and maybe the patients at a certain point of that journey,
Yeah.
then they need to feed that verbatim feedback into a tool that is consistently analyzing for the sentiments of the people that walk into their institutions. And they should also be analyzing what it is about their experience that they need to look into and to make better.
Yeah.
So it might not be too futuristic. I think it's something that can be done right now. And my advice is to existing institutions to find the tools, because the tools are available, to find that technology and plug it in and start to do that. The other element would be around treatment, because depending on the ailments, there's a lot of testing and research that's ongoing in the medical field, I think.
Yeah.
And with medication, etc. There's also these diseases that seem to be cropping up. Now there's monkeypox, I hear it's called.
Yeah.
And before that was the all-time famous COVID that enables us to
19.
that even enables us to say pre-COVID we used to, and
Post-COVID,
post-COVID,
yeah.
and during COVID we pivoted.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's that one. There's that remarkable epidemic, and I don't want to make light of it because I know a couple of us lost our
Their
loved ones
yeah.
during that time, and maybe for you the only memory of COVID is loss. So I'm also holding grace
But even
for,
as you're
for
holding
those people.
grace, we are also discussing how these people felt
Yeah.
during that period. How
There's hospitals they can't go back to ever,
yeah,
and they would not
exactly.
recommend someone to go.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the big conversation here.
Yes.
You know, we want to be in a space where we acknowledge grief, we acknowledge sickness, but we want to be in a position where we can go back and say, wow, we lost a loved one, but those guys made sure we were so good.
We were taken care of. Yes. And even the transitions, like I said, the entire ecosystem is huge. And when you think about the exit part of that ecosystem, can even be death, the loss of a loved one. And so how you transition the people that accompanied that person or that are listed as next of kin in their documentation, how you transition them at a hospital level is everything. It's everything, because I don't think, rarely, and even when you know you're about to lose someone, you walk into a hospital thinking through that process. And so even having counselors on hand. Let me tell you, there's a specialist very recently who has taken care of my mother. And when I went in for a briefing, one of the things that she said to me was, you want to consider, Bella, ensuring that there's a counselor that comes to see your mother every day. And I thought that was a special touch. Not only did she touch on that, she also touched on, as a family, how are we coping?
Yeah.
And how often do we meet to discuss my mom's care? I thought she was an all-rounder, sincerely speaking, and she's a specialist.
Yeah.
And the queue outside the door was very long, but she has time to touch on the other peripherals of
That
your
matters.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would I recommend her? You bet.
Yeah.
You bet. I would. Any day, anytime. I am recommending her right now already. I know people will ask me after this,
Yeah.
who was I talking about?
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I want to discuss something you've raised briefly because I felt it's something that people also forget a lot, especially hospitals. When you get to the hospital the first day, when you get there and you have security people having to take you through a vigorous, which is okay,
Such.
okay? What do you say about hospital and how do I frame this question? What's the relationship between customer experience in the hospital and also that are contacting third parties? Because we've been in a situation where police and theater police, askari, soldiers, we call them soldiers, but private securities look at you with some eyes and they're like, hey, huyo soja alikataa niingie hata nikimlilia. It's of course they have to follow procedures and guidance. But what do you say about that?
Yeah. I've seen recently in a different industry, banking, where the security at the front of those entrances or at the outside of the ATMs have been trained a certain type of way. And even when you say we've contracted a third party to take care of a certain element of our business, it's imperative that we are part of their training.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's imperative that we let them know what the values of our company are, and this is how we show, or behaviorally, this is what our brand is about. Because, I mean, you cannot be in total control of gelling that third party's company's values versus yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. But ensuring that there's a training and even a combined training, a gelled training. So they associate even your staff with those values.
Yeah.
And the way that they treat your staff, not just your customers, is nearly the same way. There's an understanding of what is happening. Also, remember, when a customer is giving feedback, I don't really think it is up to them to start to figure out what you have outsourced or contracted as a brand. They will give you feedback. They will tell you the canteen doesn't serve food options. But guess what? That canteen space has been rented to a service provider inside of your institution. So to them, it's the hospital's canteen. To that patient or the person accompanying a patient, that is the hospital's canteen. And so when we give you feedback, I don't even think the response should be, the manager of that canteen is not an employee of our hospital, So for you, it's simply transactional as long as they pay rent and they are taking care of their own bills.
But it's still a brand.
I am there. I am in the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lastly, is I went with a friend of mine. I'll not mention the friend. But if you talk about patient's data, and this friend of mine said, the last time I was there, I gave birth here. You understand? And this is like my third time being here.
Yes.
If you use a patient, if you want to probably employ a better patient experience, say, hey, because you have my data in your system, what is wrong with saying, hey Bella, welcome back. How is your kid doing?
Yes. Why
know?
does this story sound very familiar,
sounds so
Steve?
familiar.
It
I
sounds too
know.
familiar.
It's from a mutual friend.
It's from a mutual friend. This is now an inside joke.
Yeah.
Because me and you are laughing and our audience doesn't understand what we are talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. Think of it legacy or multi-tiered, right? If I have referred someone to your institution,
Yeah.
and you have a referred by slot when you're gathering your data, you should at least be running an algorithm that checks relationships between first time patients
Yeah.
and previous patients. You should at least have a certain type of layer like that one. Also, I think there's data that should be retired, archived, updated. Can you imagine if someone has since passed on?
Yeah.
And the data still returns a text message to wish them something. So the text message comes to that phone number, and a loved one has that number, and they're saying we are reaching out to wish you a better recovery. Can you imagine the type of experience that the loved one that has that phone is going through? So there's something to say for updating of records. And again, that's the larger ecosystem, because somewhere there's a record of that person's transition.
Yeah.
And it also means that entering their ID number or some other unique identifier should be able to create a certain type of trigger in your system.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as long as you've identified that it's a certain person.
Yeah.
For example, the national ID numbers are unique identifiers. We don't have any two people that have the same ID number. Okay, at least that's the much I know. I don't know if there have been some errors in generating national ID numbers, but suppose that's what we said. So we have a national insurance public body, right? And then we have hospitals, and then we have the ministries, right? And then we have other institutions. I think if they are feeding from a centralized data pool, there's certain ways that information should or can be updated. If I was to liken it, for example, to financial services, they ask you for certain details when they are going to give you a credit facility.
Yeah.
And if they check against your ID number, they should be able to tell if you have other facilities with other institutions, right?
Yeah.
So that's a centralized way of putting data such that it's usable and it is relevant to other parties within the same ecosystem. And I think it's about time we did that for the healthcare sector as well. And keeping in mind that there's certain elements of a patient's data that still remains confidential. You should be able to maybe view and not update. Or you should only be able to view after you've gone through like 2 levels of approval. Or a doctor needs to be the one that signs it in, something like that. We can always create layers of security, but I think it's about time we centralized how that information is used.
That was so informative. I feel like I should get back to the health sector.
Now you want to change careers.
I want to change careers and pivot towards that direction.
Yeah.
But all I know, all in all, there's human experience, and that human experience is universal to all the sectors we service.
Yes.
And I'm equally learning that going forward, data cannot be ignored in most steps. So I think I want to end this podcast for the part 1 of this, and let's look forward for the next one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to host you again.
I'm happy to come with someone who's in patient experience.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
I think
Let's
so.
do that.
So they're able to tell their stories from a point of this is something that has happened in their site or something that they are doing to improve patient experience.
I think let's do that. Let's have someone else from. I'll not be here to ask the questions anymore, but I want them to have a conversation and see how probably also drive the mitigating factors that probably may lead to someone being ignored, someone feeling that we need to pay fast, someone feeling transactional. I mean that's very deep, and I think it's let's do the part two version of that with someone from that, because I'm a photographer and I'm a storyteller, and for me I'm so fascinated about stories. So I'm looking forward for more in the next episode.
Yeah.
Okay, CX is such a big thing, and I love this topic every day. So thank you so much for coming, Bella.
Yeah. Thank you, Steve, for having me. It's been an interesting discussion.
We will always do this till we die. So from us to you guys, thank you so much for listening and watching to this episode. We're looking forward to having more of this, and until next time, bye.
Bye.